That's all. Hi, Carol.
Hi, David.
I'm really sorry to hear about what you're going through.
Oh, you know what? It's a minor injury, David, but it's affecting all my muscles around and I'm starting to compensate. So she's basically healing the tear and getting me balanced again. So,
Oh,
so David, you'll laugh because she said, I want you to start doing things with your left hand as well as your right hand. I said, oh, you sound like somebody I know. It's like, my teacher will be very happy that you recommended this.
absolutely.
So yeah, vacuuming with a left hand is quite an experience.
I'll bet.
How we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good. We still masking up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could do without the world situation, but
Uh,
other than that,
What's going on in the world?
yeah, right. Nothing.
Oh.
I'll stick with my world.
Yeah, I'm happy in my world. Sticking with it.
Yep.
I find that I don't watch or listen to the news as much. No, I don't either.
Well, you shouldn't anyway. So.
So you can't unsee something. No.
Carol, did you get the next book after Wolves?
No, I didn't know there was another one, but that was fantastic, David. It
Yeah.
really, I enjoyed it very much.
Well, the next one is not a continuation of that story. It's another one completely different, but equally fascinating. And I'm blanking on the title, so I'll have to send it to you, but I will.
Oh, please do. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like her writing. So it's,
she's
I'm
better
sure.
writer, yeah. Yep. No.
No, this one ranks right up there with A Gentleman from Moscow. That's still one of my,
Wasn't that
I
good?
it was, and it got better as it went along. It just,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
My feet are
an
starting-
experience.
Something must have gone on.
Definitely.
Joyce is not feeling well today, so she won't be
Yeah, the bones are.
even
Yeah,
on
she
Zoom.
messaged, messaged me. So I told her I hope she's feeling better. There's an awful lot going around. So like you, I am continuing my mask wearing
Oh,
for
yeah.
the foreseeable future.
You know, I liked the last couple of years with no colds and no flu. and-
I know.
I did.
Yeah.
I agree.
Doesn't seem like a bad thing to me.
No, staying away from people,
Yeah. Yes, well,
certain people.
yes.
For sure.
Come on, Jeff.
Ricky goes under the knife tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's got another, what do you call it?
Hernia?
Yeah,
Really?
I think he'll be in for at least a day or two
Oh,
up at Bacchus. And then I go in Friday.
4.
I get a new pacemaker.
Oh, right, right.
Oh, battery? Yeah, my battery, it finally crapped. Well, it's down to like 2 months, so. I don't know if you've ever had your battery. No, this is the first time. You know, we were laying in bed one night, well, we were asleep, and all of a sudden, I hear this noise. And so is my wife. We said, what is it? You know, we get up. And we finally figured out it was coming from my chest. It was like, you know, the police cars. They have,
Oh, well, I don't have that yet.
Yeah. So, mine will vibrate like a phone. Like your phone vibrates, yeah, he demonstrated it for me.
Oh,
He said, "You
Thanks.
feel that?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah." He said, even if it runs out, I just probably would know it. Well, I need it other than it makes that vibration. But my heart will keep on going.
well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's more for the defibrillation piece to it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Yeah, I got both of them.
So, yeah, with the figure,
Yep,
yeah,
so it paces at 60 and it fires at 235, which it has a couple times.
Mm.
how was that?
Oh, it was great.
You know, I was in the Civic Center or the Excel Center one time. I was talking to my buddy about, geez, you know, I heard it, and the guy in front of me turned around. He said, listen, I had mine go off twice. He said, I shit my pants each time.
5 times. Yeah, it's just like on TV. Just hope you don't have like a coffee in your hand. You just throw it right up the ceiling. My heart went into it escalated its beat. I had a viral infection at the time.
Okay.
Which caused an irritation, and it would go from normal speed up over 250 within like a minute.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
fires, and if it doesn't get it, it reloads and fires again. It's just like, you know, on those near-death experiences where they say you see a light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a light.
You know, I haven't been watching a series on TV about near-death experiences,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what goes on while they're there. It's a crazy one, I don't know,
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Buddhist, you know, Olympic meditators have kind of followed it through for the next couple of stages.
Oh,
And then they come back. They just take themselves through a simulated death experience.
oh,
Yeah. And
You can join whenever, whoops. You can join whenever you get home. Okay. So Joyce isn't joining us.
Oh,
Jeff isn't joining us, probably. But we have Carol.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Carol.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Carol.
Yeah, it's over here. We're hiding in the corner. He's gonna make us practice with our left hand today.
Oh.
It still feels like it's not part of my body.
I'll tell you,
So
I can't believe how hard that was for me.
Oh, man.
what?
Just doing it was uttermost.
Yeah.
Sit down for a bit. You get to
Oh,
sit.
sit down. Okay.
Yeah, you take that one over to you.
Okay, I just don't want to be in Carol's way.
You're fine, Dave.
Okay.
Questions?
Nothing specific, you know. I found out, and it's just been within the last several weeks, how many things I'm doing wrong. For some reason, I'm paying more attention, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Well, don't beat yourself up. The good thing is you're discovering what you need to correct.
Oh, David, you're always so nice.
No, I just look at the positive side. Why not?
Okay, I'll take it.
Anything in particular that,
Well, you know, on a bow stance, I stand like this
mhm,
instead of,
good,
and I know you told me about that one time, but I still was doing it the same way until recently.
uh-huh,
I forget what some of the others are.
well, that's good. Anything for you, Dave?
Yeah, I am trying to practice with the left hand. I started to count, just to count, to help myself.
Mhm.
And for some reason, I cannot, well, I have trouble going from 2, 3, and 4.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I get to, I probably get to 3, you know, and I'm not, on my feet aren't where they need to be. So it's I kind of know where my hands are supposed to be. But, it's
It's
just a
kind of
little,
important.
it's not sticking like it. I probably just need to do it more often.
And that's usually
Yeah.
up here.
Yeah, it's just kind of frustrating because if I know where I'm supposed to be at 3, and then it just wasn't,
Well,
or I'm moving my foot into 4, but I know that should be 3.
mm,
You know, this is like 4. No, that's not. So, and this is should be 3. And then 4. It starts going back up. About, I don't know.
well, we'll look
I
at
could
that.
probably work on
We will. We'll make a point of it.
it. Yeah.
Anything for you, Carol?
No, just continuing to work, David, on what you noted the last time, doing the form for the 8 gates, trying to keep the movements equal in length, not speeding up and slowing down depending on the movement. Some movements are easier than others, and I find that those are the ones that I can just zip through, and so I have to really be conscious of evening out the practice.
Right, good. Okay. So I am going to continue looking at some alignment specifics that we've been looking at for quite a while. And so here goes. The Chinese term for getting the qi to flow through your body is threading the needle, which I like. Most people find the most difficult place in the body to get the energy to move through is the feet. Presuming you can get it down through the legs to the feet, but once you do, the feet can be very difficult. Very often, what happens is that when we stand, we tend not to tuck the pelvis, but let it go back a little bit. And that tends actually to cause us to stand in a way that begins to block going into the feet. So one of the things we need to do, in addition to having the quad fold and the knees slightly bend and be fixed in the right position, is to make sure that that pelvis is slightly tucked so that the sacrum is going straight down to the earth. And I know that's not new, but we often forget it or miss it. One of the things that will happen when you get that alignment of the sacrum is that you begin to feel the energy drop through that area and go through the quad and into the legs. When you really get to do this and really can feel it, being really precise about the movement doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, because you can feel it from the crown of your head going right down through your body and through your legs. Later on, you can say that precision doesn't matter, but it's not super important. But before you can do that, this level of precision makes the difference in arriving at the point where you can just shoot the energy through your body. And could be, would be actually, if you did the whole process 1,000 times, you probably hit it 20 or 30 times. But that's just luck. We want to get beyond luck to the point where you do it 995 times out of 1,000. So in the Orient, the only thing they ever said was practice. My favorite word, as you know. And then they would come by maybe once every 2 weeks or once a month after you've been practicing every day, and they would adjust you. And the reason why they didn't keep on telling you what to do is that they have a very strong opinion in the Orient that you have to struggle with it because you're the one who's got to find it in your body. It's inside you. Someone can put you into the position and you can go, oh, well, yeah, that's it. But that didn't help you to find it. That just helped you to know what it was if you happen to arrive there by accident or even deliberately. So it's helpful to know what you're going for. So let's look today at the feet, because if you're going through your knees, you have to go through your feet. And there are two essential things about the feet. The first one is that everyone has an arch, hopefully, which means if you have a healthy body, the arch of your foot should not be touching the floor. It should be raised. But on the other hand, the other parts of your feet, every other part of your feet should be touching the floor evenly. There is in this some things that if you know about them, you won't allow them to diminish your chi flow. So the first one is that there is right in the back of your Achilles tendon, and I'm assuming you all know where your Achilles tendon is, right back there, there is one giant vein, and that is really responsible for getting a lot of the blood to go back up to your heart. Now, if this area behind the Achilles tendon starts to squish down, it will put pressure on that vein, which means the blood won't go back to your heart as much as it should. And there is also an artery that moves down the inside of the leg back by the Achilles tendon, which means the blood, if that's blocked, you won't get the blood down to your feet. And if the blood doesn't get to your feet, what do you think is going to happen? After a while, your legs are going to hurt and you're going to have some problems. So it can also cause your body to involuntarily tense up because your legs are not getting sufficient blood supply. In terms of your whole life, this is really important. So so this area in the back of the foot needs to have some sort of lifting so that you can feel space back there where the tendon is. And that's extremely important. When your foot closes down, the veins and the arteries are closing down. If you open up your foot and raise the area above the back of your heel just slightly, the blood flows. And you want a little bit of space there. Now you do have to have your quad open, but slightly folded. And when you get that, your tailbone to go downward just a little bit, you actually start to get the space behind your heel. If you're a little bit back or forward too much, you begin to close it down. So it's a little bit of a Goldilocks and the Three Bears issue Not too tight and not too loose. So I won't ask you to take off your shoes, although if you practice this at home, it might be a good idea to try it with the shoes off. Okay. So stand up. And just you're okay. You're going to sit back down and so just stand and just for a moment think through the alignments we've talked over the last few weeks. Let the quad relax. Make sure the armpits are open. The head lifting off the top of the spine. And the knees slightly bent, but not pushing forward. Feeling that sense of openness in the back of the knees. And I want you to just feel what it's like to actually have that space in your foot around the Achilles tendon. So the sacrum has to be pointing straight down to the earth. You may have to very, very subtly shift forward or back and just feel how that there is a point where that just feels relaxed and open. And then just in a way for your own information, have a sense of pushing your ankles outward a little bit and feel how that turns it off. And then fold your ankles in a little bit and feel how that causes the tension there. Then in the center, just trying to find and be aware of finding that very slight lifting. And it's kind of a counterintuitive thing because you want a lifting in the area of the Achilles and a sinking of your tailbone. Okay. So what do you feel? You feel you can find that?
Feels warm.
That's a positive.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing.
So what do you feel in your feet?
Oh, my feet are okay. I'm trying to feel something in my Achilles area.
And you're just not feeling anything there?
No. And my feet, I mean, you know, they're pretty well.
Yeah.
back.
So do you feel the energy sinking down through your body at all?
I would have to say no.
Yeah. So that makes it a little difficult then to find
Yeah, I
this.
feel it.
Yeah. So that indicates that there's some issue further up in your body that we maybe need to find and see if we can find a solution for. So, Carol, how about you?
I actually felt the energy sinking down the back of my thighs to the Achilles for the first time. I was not getting it at practice this week. So that alignment really helps open it up.
Good, good. Okay, so just doing a little bit of standing like this and focusing on that, just so that you really begin to get clear in your mind what that feels like when you are able to connect with it. So sit down for a minute. Any questions anybody wants to ask about this? No. Okay.
No, I think it's okay. It's something I have flat feet, so I have to kind of, and it's gotten worse with years. So I do have to kind of roll a little, kind of set my feet so that there is an arch.
Yeah. You wear those socks?
Well, sure, yeah. I don't have them on in these shoes, but yeah. The shoes that I normally wear, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. But I've had that forever. Yeah. I think with me too, the one thing I do have to watch is I don't get my neck extended like I should. Yeah. When I stand up. I think my tailbone's pretty good because I worked on that, but tucking the chin in and relaxing, through the shoulder blades and so on. It's one that I've got to work on.
Yeah.
I naturally tend to look down.
Yep. Something I've struggled with over time too.
You started talking about the heel lifting. And then I listened to
About this area lifting, yes, not the heel itself.
Oh,
You're not going to lift the heel off the ground, but rather a sense of the heel is attached to the ground. And there is, it's too small to really see, but there is a lifting, a little opening in that area. It's too small a movement.
mhm.
I'm doing it, but I don't think you can see it.
I had a little trouble seeing it.
Yes. Understandable. So, as you practice and you have questions, I really recommend writing them down and even calling or writing me right away. I have no objection whatsoever to that. Matter of fact, I'd be delighted to hear from you. This is, I think, the idea that this is a little bit of a Goldilocks and the Three Bears issue. You really have to play with it until all of a sudden something goes, oh, that's it. And until you have that awakening, it's pretty hard. I can't give you a magic answer, but it is possible. So one of the things I thought was kind of interesting is the idea that in the West, we tend to focus on blood pressure, but the Chinese focus on blood circulation. And it's Bruce's idea that blood pressure is a distinct indication of whether you're going to die or not, but blood circulation is an indicator of if you're going to live well or not.
Yeah, I think we know the answer to the first one.
I think we do. Now, the next thing is, if you look at the front of your foot, right at the joint of where the ankle and the foot come together, there are two major tendons. And the space between those tendons needs to be soft. So obviously we're now on the other side of the foot from the Achilles tendon. But you can tense that area of the ankle and feel it pop out.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to pop out. You want it to stay soft there.
I get one to pop, but like the other.
Well,
Oh.
we don't want it to pop, so.
Oh, I know.
So maybe you're just lucky on one.
Yes.
That spot is the one basically will block the chi going all the way to the bottom of your feet. When that tendon pops out, besides the fact that it constricts the bones in the foot, it also prevents your chi from reaching the tip of your toes. So this area needs to be soft, and you need to be able to press your fingers right into it with no trouble. So just being aware of what it feels like when it's soft and you can press into it. And then again, stand up. And just take your basic position for a moment. Be aware of your breath. And check through the body for those basic alignments. And then just try to soften that space between the tendons in the front of the ankle. And actually that should help you feel the energy flow through your feet. So there's a couple of things to work on the feet. Any questions about that? Okay, sit down again for a minute.
I tend to rock too much.
Yeah, it would be a good thing not to if you can. There's nothing wrong if you feel tense or tightening up, if you move a little to release that and then go back to standing. But to just rock is not a helpful thing in standing. So these are all extremely important technical points. When you see somebody moving, doing Tai Chi or some other Taoist energy practice, you don't see all these things. But this is part of what makes the whole thing work. This is part of what makes Qigong work. You're looking at how the Qi is going to flow through. And then if you know that, you simply know what needs to open up. Or think of it as being like a water system. If you close down some point in that system, one place, you build up the pressure elsewhere. Now, the way you find this and adjust this is by softening those two areas in the feet. And then it is going to be two other things together. It's mostly going to be from your tailbone, but it's also going to be your perineum. The two of them are going to find just the right place and how to stand so that you soften the front of your foot. When you do that, your whole foot is going to spread and just make a much greater contact with the ground. You probably don't want it to spread.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Well, spread in the sense of relax.
Yeah, yeah. Make more contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that whole pelvic area is really important in the finding where that position of the tailbone is. Where is that alignment of the sacrum? Keeping the perineum open, not letting it close down at all. And of course, the alignment of the knees. And what's really interesting is, and this is particularly true in our movement practices, is that this helps you open the feet and begin to ground and root and center. It really makes a huge difference, because when you go onto one foot to make a step, you're tense, then you begin to wobble. If you're relaxed and connected to the earth, you can just make the step. So it seems simple.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Tai Chi is pretty simple. It just isn't easy, as I have said perhaps too many times. So, any other questions right at the moment? Okay, so I'm going to talk you through a standing practice just to start our day, since standing is actually should be the first practice we do as we begin. So I think we can clear the space at the moment and stand again. Thinking through your alignments and breathing. Being aware of those two places in the feet and their connection down from the sacrum and qua and perineum through the knees and down into the earth. And now, starting from the crown of your head, like ice to water, make sure that the crown of your head stays still, but let it neither rise or sink. And like ice turning to water, any place you feel any tension or strength or something that doesn't feel quite right, especially if you don't know what it is, or any kind of contraction, let it all go and drop. Every sense of your energy dropping and moving downward through your head and neck. And if you feel a place tighten up, or you feel a place that's bound up, let the dropping down of your energy go through it and wash it. Open up whatever place happens to be blocked. The chi going down feels stuck. You want to wash it down and move it downward. down to your neck and your throat. Front, back, and sides. Let your chest and upper back and shoulders go. Let your heart become smooth. Doing this will be immensely helpful in releasing anxiety in your life. The energy drop down your chest and shoulders, front, sides, and back. Moving down to your diaphragm, your whole abdomen. Get the feeling that what's inside your abdomen is letting go and dropping, as well as just releasing the muscles around it. Eventually in Qigong, your mind and your ability to feel your qi penetrate completely within your abdomen. So that you are as conscious of your internal organs as you are of your fingers. You can't make this happen, but you can allow it to happen. Keep on dropping through your belly, kidneys, your back and your lower back. And down through your pelvis, releasing everything inside your pelvis. Allow your perineum to open and relax everything. Allowing the energy to move below your hips into your legs. Let your legs open. Down to your knees, the front, the sides, and the back of your knees. Down the calves, shins, moving it right through your ankles. You'll find that by opening up the space in the back of your Achilles tendon, it will help you to open up your ankles. If you want your qi to drop down through your ankles into your feet, it's important that the ankle joint be open and not closed. To move the energy down to your feet. They're often hard for many of us, but it's important to go through them and continue until all parts of your feet that are touching the ground, including your toes, feel as though your qi is sinking and saturating them. Now you've done it because you get more space, and you probably will feel warm. And then the last but not the least, let the qi that has been dropping from your head down to your fingertips and through your body, down your legs, let your qi drop into the ground, into the earth. Let it sink into the earth itself. And then holding on to all of that, flow right into our 8 gates. Now to continue to be aware of softening around the Achilles tendon and in the front of your ankle. Let the movement be relaxed in the ankle. Your feet really connecting down into the earth. Master Joe always said, merge with the earth. Don't just stand on top of it. some questions in there?
That's good.
So I am recording.
Okay.
So you could have me lead you through this again if you
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
want to do it home.
Yeah.
So, good. So indeed, let's, anybody, any questions, Carol, anything for you? Guess not.
Sorry, I'm on mute. No, no questions, David. Thank you.
Okay. So, single arm left side. So the question was 2, 3, and 4, both times. So. Seven, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's got to be down here. Yeah.
So really remembering that 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just that I'm trying to get my left hand coordinated, and a lot of times I'll get to 3 and I'm counting number 2.
Yeah.
Because this is like 1, 2.
So in the first one, it's easy.
Yeah.
Because you have 1, rotate and shift back, 2, just
Just goes
rotate,
across.
3, down to the bottom, finish the S curve.
Yeah.
The other one's not as easy as we know. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's really the same, except it's not. So I have done the wrong arm movement.
Yeah, you're on the right side.
I did.
I wonder it was so easy
Okay.
for me.
So there we are, guys. It happens to the best of us. Okay, 7, 8, we're up here. And then it's 1, rotate and shift back, 2, keep rotating,
Yeah.
3, turn the leg.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
the thing you're doing is very, I'm fighting this in another student who has this, I'm gonna do this facing you, because
Yeah.
what you're doing is this,
Yeah.
okay?
Which is the elbow should go down.
Let the whole thing go down.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let the whole, relax the shoulder.
Okay.
So everything goes down.
And that's 3 right there.
Yeah,
at
this
the
is-
bottom.
This is 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You wanna try it?
Sure. So.
You too.
I have an old habit too of coming down and doing that, which I'm fighting.
So you wanna let the body turn the leg on through.
Right, not the hand. And I
Yeah.
have so many years of doing it like this. I catch myself. And then 4.
Then the 4
No,
doesn't
no,
turn.
3. Yeah, 3. That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah,
and then 4 onto it,
Right.
and then come on, David, down to the ground.
Yeah.
5, 8, and then turning 5, and then 6 onto it, 7, and then 8.
Good.
And then this is so now
So you should be forward.
I should be forward. That's, yeah, you're right. And then 1, 2, and then down, 3, 4, 5, 8, and 6, 7, and 8.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So the thing that can, I think, help you, so actually this is much better, 1, 2, but visualizing the sphere out
Right.
here, and that this is going through,
It's got to make kind of an S.
it's got to make kind of an S.
That's
It
not-
can be a very narrow S. It doesn't have to be full width S. It can be
Yeah.
a narrower S. And what's kind of interesting about the S is that on 3, it comes to the outside of the ball.
Right, yeah.
And so from here, you have 1, 2, 3, it's to the outside of the ball. Now it's going to go up the back of the ball. 3,
Yeah.
4, 5A, 5B,
Oh,
6, 7, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was the area I was having problems with, but I think I just have to get it straight in my mind.
Yeah.
And it'll come, but it's just getting used to the left hand again,
I know.
which I haven't practiced with.
I have,
No, I mean, I did.
I
since
go a
we
little
started
bit
working
and then I have to go back and start with my right and see what I was doing.
Well, that's why I use the count, because that helped me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because I kind of know where it's supposed to be. And if it's not there, then I'm, oh, geez, okay, then start.
So
over.
the count is really, at this stage in your practice, is pretty important.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, eventually, somewhere down the road, as I was saying earlier about precision, you have the precision built in. Your body knows what to do. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah, yeah,
But until you get to that point, the metronome here, the metronome of this practice is very helpful.
it is, yeah.
How, do you have any specific questions on the left?
no, no, like I said, I would get lost after. Usually I could get up. Then when I go into 4 and then 5, you know, okay, now where do I go? Where does which one go?
So one of the things to remember is that that other hand, from the point at which you step out, that other hand is already active. It's alive, it's connected. And eventually that practice that we did at one point of thinking about bending and stretching, at this moment, left is bent, right is stretched. 7, 8, left is stretched, right is bent. It's alive, it's working. 1, this is starting to bend. 2, it's bending. The right is straightening. 3, it's bent. The right is straightened. it immediately starts coming in on 4, slowly, matching the movement of the left. And then 7, 8,
And then
1. The left stretches, the right begins to bend. 2 continues to bend. 3 bends. Going up the back. 4. The left comes in. Twists on 6, 7, 8.
okay.
Is that a question, Bill?
No, keeping it centered on my body gets thrown off every once in a while.
Yeah. That's important too, because if you keep it centered on your body, then you don't, and that helps your balance. When you start playing with the ball over here or over there, you're
Yeah.
pulling yourself away from your center.
My balance isn't good to start.
Well, yeah, that's
So, yes.
part of what we're working on. And the other thing is what we worked on earlier, keeping the feet open so they connect to the earth. Has a lot to do with this.
Now, you know, when I try not to move my arm except to twist and let my body move my arm.
Uh-huh.
Twist, get up here. And I keep trying to do that. And I think it's kind of throwing me off. I'm just not doing it enough.
Well, that might be. You do want the body, the legs and the body to move the arms. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so there's also a transition. You know, you have to start with, what do I want my arm to do? I want it to trace that pattern. So you have to understand what the arm, you know, is trying to do. On the other hand, eventually, you don't have to think about that. And you can change your focus down to, okay, now, I can't do that. I didn't move my body. My body did that. Oh. And then you practice that, you know. So, but first getting the pattern clear, and then getting the body to move the arm. Probably an easier
Yeah,
way to approach it.
it just feels so good. The body is moving.
Well, yeah, well, do that as much as you can. That's fine. I'm going to look at Carol for a minute here. So Carol, in this, you're not getting the S curve in that right arm.
In the right arm.
Yeah, when you're up at the top. The second time you hit, you go 1, 2.
Okay, yep. So it's when this one Okay.
Yeah, so it's that rather weird.
Yeah.
It would help if you could see me when the. So I'll do it with my left since I'm facing you. But
Okay.
what you're doing here is a single rotation to one side, to the left when you're doing the left arm. And
Right.
this arm is crossing the center and rotating back to complete two with that, while you're doing just one rotation to the side. And then it's turning back, brings you into three. So what I was seeing was this was just a curve down, and it's not. It's a
Okay.
curve.
All right, so I'm doing, let's see. Bringing it back. Oh, I'm just gonna do the, with my right hand, David, just to
Okay,
see if I can get, okay. So when I
you have
through,
to,
this is, what-
no, you don't turn.
No.
The whole S curve occurs while you have a single turn to your left.
got it, so,
So
So
your
I
body
start-
has to move very slowly.
okay,
And where was the S curve?
the S curve is, all right, the S curve has to do this, right? Or am
Yeah,
I not
remember
getting
it's-
the,
Remember, it's right in front of your body.
oh, right, okay, another, so starting, so,
Better.
yeah, I'm not feeling it though, so,
Well,
So
this is, yeah. It's a difficult,
so are you going along this plane and then where does it start coming up the back of the ball?
well, not till 4,
Is,
not 3.
so
Remember, 3 is still going down.
going down. So 1 is up here. No, 1 is coming down, 2 is here. Is 2 here? Because I think I'm losing it.
Oh, come on, the sudden. Blank.
Just a second. So. I wanted to get over to the Tai Chi twos.
Okay.
Same thing I did a moment ago with Bill. Bill, Dave. Is that the way this works is 1 goes just starting down and over and past, no sets past the center line of the body. 2
Okay,
goes to this point. And 3 is the turn getting to the bottom and turning the leg.
Yeah.
so most
2 have to go fast.
of the S is on 2 then.
That's correct. 2 is
Okay.
half the S. The 1 and 3 are the other 2 quarters.
Okay, that's my mistake, David. I was trying to do it in 3 equal parts.
Yeah,
1, 2, and equally, okay. Okay, so I start that again. So 1, 2 goes all the way here, 3.
more or less. Remember, slow down the body on 2. See, this is the problem here is that the rotation of the body in one direction is making the arm go in 2 different directions.
I know. It's like, I know, it's like, okay,
Okay.
so it's, so I'm up here,
Yep.
facing forward. So 1,
Uh-huh.
then 2, 3, and then
Yes.
come up for 4, 5.
Yes.
Oh, that's, okay, that's gonna take some work, but I get it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad we caught that.
Yeah.
Now, seems to me there was a question on the forum. Somebody have a question on the forum?
No, I just said, I'm just more aware of making all my movements the same pace. I
Right.
was speeding up, slowing down, depending on the ease of the movement. And so that's another thing that I'm working on based on last time's suggestion.
Uh-huh. Okay,
So that's coming.
good. So, either of you have forum questions?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, flow through the forum. And
The right or the left?
I just do the right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be easy on you at the moment. Good,
I'll go this way.
okay. I don't know. I'm trying to get out of the way.
We'll bump right about with David.
Oh, we're not doing this together, David. We're doing.
No,
we're
you're
being-
individual, that's fine.
Okay.
So Bill, do the form. The Tai Chi form, the 8-gate, or 8-gate Tai Chi form.
Yeah, this-
No.
Oh,
You're doing the single arm.
yes.
Yeah, a little work there at the end.
Well, there's a little bit of work along the
Yeah.
way. A couple of things.
Yep.
After you step out, it's not sink and then go into this. It's shift slightly forward, sinking,
Oh, okay.
turning and rising.
Oh,
Because this is empty, right? Go into that. No.
Yeah,
Yes, okay,
right. Because the
So-
first thing you've done is make an empty step.
right.
So you have a little bit of space to prepare that.
And you go on to it and then it goes up.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's why it's actually two.
Yes, yin and yang, it's called.
Oh, those things. Those black and white things.
Yeah, those black and white things. Better. Now, when you are going to go into this,
Right.
think of bending the elbows in as you turn.
Oh, okay.
That gives you some space to go out, in, out.
Oh, okay, because I was coming around with them already out.
Yes,
And then I knew it was in and out.
but
Wasn't
you
sure how to
didn't-
get there.
it's very hard to get there.
It's gonna be in.
And out.
But
So
it's
it's
in when
fast.
they're, yeah. And then they come around. That's,
Okay, better.
so it's.
In, out, in, out.
Because then I gotta go with the whole move.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a line.
Actually,
This is gonna be tighter.
after you do this,
Yeah.
the first movement is forward and step. Back and step. Rotate and shift, expand.
There's a couple, yeah, there's something in here.
So after you've done, you completed needless sea bottom,
Right,
your step was pretty good.
yeah.
Notice that my elbow doesn't move.
Oh, okay. Two.
It's the body and this connection. This is bringing actually Pung or G energy into this. And it's the whole body doing it. There. Okay. And then the shift forward and turn brings you to embrace the room. And then you step. And now you're going to rotate and shift forward, rotate halfway forward and shift forward. So it's 7, 8.
Right, because I gotta get, this is on 8.
Yep.
And then that's like 7. Right.
Like 6.
6 if you just put it down.
Yep.
And now it's weighted 7.
But you rotate to 7. And then rotate to 8. Or 8, right. Because the arms are rotating all the way through it. So the body has to rotate.
Yeah, I think that's another thing I was doing. 6, 7, and then I was doing a forward rotation on 8.
Yeah.
Is that right?
No,
That's
because
what I
this
was
is
doing.
this is the same as 7, 8.
but it's not 100% rotation after 7
No,
to get to 8.
no.
I've been doing that for years.
Okay, so you're confusing what we're doing here with what we do in the form, the long form.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So in the long form,
yeah,
we do 7, 8.
8, yeah, that's where I got it from.
Yep,
Okay,
it's not the same.
okay, good, that's good.
Master Joe wanted to make sure you were confused.
I am totally confused. Just when you think you're not, you are.
Yeah,
Now, you don't start there, you start.
you're back. Well, the first thing is you've made an empty step out, right?
Right,
So you've got to be back
you're right,
because there's no weight here.
but then it's,
Down and then up, right? But not over to your right. It's right in front of you. Right here,
no wonder that feels so weird.
straight ahead. Uh-huh.
Now, here, I just do this, but I know there's more to it.
Well, there is. And you can just do one to begin with, but the thing to remember here is that the turn brings the elbows in. And then ideally, you're going to go out, in, out, as you make that half circle. If that's too difficult, you can do just one. You can go in, out, and that would be fine. Probably should have told Dave that too.
All right,
Drop the elbows, connect to the earth. Not out here.
and that's fancy.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you do embrace the move? Right here before you do that, right?
So embrace here you've done elbow.
Yeah.
And it separates as you shift, rotate to embrace the moon. And that can be happening while you're doing that whole thing. So you're coming in, you got to embrace the moon, and now you've got split.
I knew it went in there somewhere. I don't know.
Drop the elbows on that last 7, 8 though. pretty good, Carol. In doing, let me, oh no, that's. After you done ward off, remember that this is a large ball, fairly
Okay.
far away from the center of the body. This is a small ball as you rotate back, okay?
Mhm.
And when you go into push downward on, when you turn, the elbows come in, and you can do, I've taught the double one, but you can do just one if you find that you just can't get that double one in yet, that's fine. When you go into elbow, so you've gone to needle at C bottom, you go into elbow, make sure you don't shift too far forward on that knee. Look to me like you were going too far
Okay,
out. So you want to stop with your dynamic limit. And
okay,
the hand coming in, the right hand coming in, I haven't talked about this particularly, but when you step from needle, notice that everything bends, including this hand. And as you shift forward, it expands and it touches just as you come to your dynamic limit.
okay.
So, boom, it's sending energy out through that elbow.
So the hand is not extended up until that point, then until
right.
contact?
It's
Okay.
bent and it extends as you shift.
Got
Completing
it.
the extension just here. And it's not straight fingers. Remember, fingers are slightly bent.
Okay,
So boom. And everybody be really careful. There is a tendency on that movement for some reason to push the knee too far forward.
okay.
Do not.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be careful to watch for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So last minute questions were pretty much out of the time.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
David?
Yeah.
Is the next class a start of a new session?
Yes, and it will be April 11th.
Oh,
April 11th. Okay,
Because from the 24th through the 30th, I'm going to be in California.
good for you, David. Oh, wonderful.
We're going to go see all our kids.
see the kids. Yeah, good.
Finally.
3
Finally.
boys in California and a daughter-in-law.
Oh, good.
Wow, that's
Oh my gosh,
first
that's
thing.
awesome.
Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
that's a long time. I'll
absolutely.
try to send you a reminder. But it will, unfortunately, just the way the schedule works, I won't be able to go back to this class till April 11th.
Okay.
Okay,
So practice, practice, practice. You'll all be perfect by the time I come back.
I wouldn't doubt.
no, we'll see 10 more things we have to do.
Well, perhaps. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, David, and have a wonderful trip.
thank you.
Yeah.
We will.
You know, that's what I got in California, 3 boys and 1 daughter.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
I thought you only had 2 boys out there. I don't know why.
One keeps trying to get
Oh, yeah?
oh, sometimes it's jobs. But of course, it years got promoted.
Oh, nice.
Well, it's okay.